Hi there. Good afternoon. I'm Cindy Dole, and this is Home Wizards, your radio home for all things home, garden, and life improvement. Thanks for sharing part of your Saturday with me, because this is where we like to have fun. This is where, no matter whether you like to do it yourself or you want to hire it done, we figure out the ways to help you enjoy the spaces you call home more, and as a result, really enjoy life more. And isn't that the cool thing? Little things, big things, anything in between. We got you covered. And so coming up on the show today, when you turn on the faucet or the hose outside, do you ever think about, by the time that the water actually gets to your home, that it's traveled more than the average commuter travels in a week? That about, 1.5 billion gallons makes its way from the Colorado River and the State Water Project to eventually your water district, and then that tap for you. And it's something that my first guest thinks about all the time, because he's a landscaper. He's also a water preservation activist. And yes, he's got ponds and water features, but now he's got some really cool things to add to that, to help save water, to maximize water in his life. And he's going to teach us how to do so in our lives. For instance, how about the pool? Would you ever think about doing something different to your pool's design to actually help it become a way to harvest rainwater? And how his koi ponds and other features are not only beautiful, but require less water and just really make his yard a beautiful paradise. So we're going to learn about all that. And then later, if you've been thinking about doing something different to your kitchen, boy, do we've got some cool ideas. You know, you're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks or so this self-guided tour. It is the Pasadena Home and Kitchen Tour. And there's 4 different kinds of styles, from traditional to contemporary to French and craftsman. And what I love about these tours is, I know you do too, it's a chance to really get a sense firsthand, talk to the designers, but then see up close the things that we talk about in the show, from, you know, the transformation from each room and space to the colors they chose, to the materials and the fixtures and everything, and how they do that. And then we're going to talk today how they did it and how you can too, on a budget, on your own, or with the help of a kitchen designer pro. So keep the number handy, 888-KFWB-980, 888-539-2980. And before we get started, you know, I always love, now that I've got my iPhone, all these different apps for that are out and about. And I've done some research. There's some really cool ones that now you can find. And some of them, if not for free, they're about 99 cents to, under $10. And they're all about home improvement. So I wanted to give you a heads up about some to think about. And I'll put this also on the website. So you can go back later if you are already out running errands, or maybe you're working in the yard or in the garage or so forth. We'll have it on the website, and you can go and try them, because they're really handy. Like, one's called iHandySoft.com. All right. And it basically allows you to use your iPhone or your iPod Touch as a measuring tape, and then a plumb bob, and both a surface and a bubble level bar. Is that the coolest thing? And so the company has this iHandy leveler. There's the free version of the Level app that comes on this iHandy Carpenter. So you got to check that one out. The other one's called the Handyman Sidekick, and it helps you as you're out, you know, looking at projects and thinking what you need and how much you need. It does all the math for you. It calculates the amount of materials for everything from painting to wallpaper to flooring and even gardening. So you want to check out Handyman Sidekick.com. And then a really fun one too that I've been looking at, called it's a dream home. It's called IntoMobile.com. And what it does is it brings you this wide range of design ideas for every room in your home, and then it gives you the images of all the new design trends, so you can then kind of think like a designer would, room by room, based on the room type, the style, and the color. And it's called IntoMobile.com. And then Home Depot's gotten in on the act. They have the entire catalog of products available with prices and pictures and all the specifications. And then you can search by all the different departments, the tools and the hardware and the bath and the outdoor stuff. And of course, you know, the weekend is all about home chores. So you have to check out this one. It's Aptism.com. And it's this handy list for all of us where we've got those, you know, honey-do and honey-don't lists, right? The household routines. But it has a built-in list of chores that you can start with today and plan ahead for your weekend. And then another really, really good one that I love is, because we always have to have the calendar to keep track of all the different things to do throughout the year, it's called SplashData.com. And here you can keep track of all the different home improvement and gardening and maintenance projects month by month, and it provides you with this built-in calendar of home maintenance tasks, so you can stay on track throughout the year. And then, of course, with painting, love the Benjamin Moore app. It's just at benjaminmoore.com. It has this new thing called the Color Capture Ben, which currently is only on the iPhone, but you use your camera, and then you can match the color to the Benjamin Moore paint and when you go to the store. So very fun stuff. So not to worry if you're hearing this and you're thinking, oh, I missed it. I'll have it back up on the website. And there's a few more, too, that we'll talk about coming up later on the show. So, and by the way, speaking of app, if you are out and you're getting ready to have to get out of the car and you go, oh, I don't want to miss that, you know, what are you waiting for? You go to cbslosangeles.com. We have an app for that. You can listen to this show on your PDA, on your iPhone, on your BlackBerry, and so you can kind of take me with you. Or if you're by the computer, just go to cindydole.com and listen right there through the live streaming. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get to our first guest. That's all about some really cool things. Talk about ways to be smarter with the ways we use water in our garden and our yard.
Well, if I could walk on water, and if I could find some way to prove, if I could walk on water, would you believe in me? My love is so true.
Well, this guy has been passionate about water and the environment way before it was cool, right? And he says it's one of his first missions in life to really show us ways to enjoy our garden without wasting water and make it beautiful and easy to maintain and not be a water hog. So how does he do it? Well, that's Mike Garcia's job. And thanks for being here, Mike, with Enviroscapes. And also your website is enviroponds.com. So, Mike, cool to have you here.
Thank you, Cindy.
And I love your yard. It's been a couple of years since I saw it last in Redondo Beach. And when I saw it, well, first of all, I love ponds because I'm a koi lover like you. And just kind of paint a picture of what it was like when I saw it last, because it had an interesting pool that was different than most people's pools. And it kind of combined not far from where the koi ponds are and all the beautiful plantings.
Right. First of all, I want to say I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, likewise.
And I want to honor your audience because they're doing the right thing, and they're listening in because they want to do the right thing, learn how to do the right thing. My home in Redondo Beach, it's like a little paradise. It's got the koi ponds and it's got the native plants, but there's something different. A few years ago, we put in a natural pool. After talking with UCLA landscape architecture students and looking at what I was doing with it, what was hardly even used, I finally decided, you know what? I need to stop the water evaporation. I need to turn this pump off.
But that's to what you did now.
Yeah.
Don't get to that yet.
Okay.
But first, because what you had wasn't bad. I mean, what you had a couple of years ago was still very cool. And it was beautiful. I mean, it's a natural pool. How did you have that?
Well, okay, it was a system that came from Europe, and it actually used plants as a filtration.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was aqua.
Yeah.
And you would swim.
No chemicals. It was like swimming in a lake in your backyard.
Totally. And you didn't have fish in there, too. You had the fish on the other side.
No. Well, once in a while I'd put a fish in there.
But that was considered an environmentally smart thing to do because of what?
Because of the chemicals.
Because of the chemicals.
Have chemicals, right.
But it didn't save water necessarily.
It didn't necessarily save water. We did use a low voltage pump, which is new for its time, and so that was really cutting edge and innovative. But since then we've done something much, much more interesting.
So flash forward to just this past spring. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about how you did something even more cutting edge. You basically covered up the pool with a patio, and what's underneath the patio is what is really the water-saving part, and it's a rain harvesting system. And so we're going to learn how you did that. How can we save water and money and be smart like you are? And then some of the other cool techniques you have in terms of irrigation and the ponds, all about saving this precious water resource that we need to think about, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so call in, and maybe you're thinking about doing some water features in your yard, or you definitely want to think about irrigation and being smart. You can call on in, talk with Mike Garcia. The number is 888-539-2980. We're just getting started. This is Home Wizards, and I'm Cindy Dole. Don't you go away.